Good morning. Well, we're home from the mountains, so it's not really morning here, it's evening, but I promised to show you the antique stove over at Robert's grandmother's cabin. So I wanted to do that before I moved on from cabin videos to garden videos. And so here it is. But before I show it to you, what's behind me? Can you see? Yep, that's Jessica. Jessica Fletcher, my nightly companion. Love you, Jessica. So here we are in Robert's grandmother's cabin. So the cabin was built in 1934, and it was built around this stove, this Majestic stove. And I say Majestic because that's the brand name of the stove. You can see here, that was the name of the stove. And my husband and his cousin Ed have very fond memories of watching Grandma Ruth cook at this stove, use this stove to heat the cabin, use this stove to heat an iron so they could iron clothes, and even toast, use it to toast bread. So it's a pretty extraordinary piece. And if you look closely, this is the toaster. So you would put slices of bread here, and the heat would come up and toast the bread. And then here's the iron that would be used. It would heat the bottom, and then the iron would be used to iron the clothes. So this is a picture of Byron Allen. He is was the first owner of the cabin and had it built, and was married to Aunt Della, who is the aunt that Robert talked about, who first came up here. Now, this stove, as I said, is original to the cabin, but many of the members of the Hubble family have been a part of this stove's history. So I have here with me Ed, who is a cousin of my husband's, and he was here when the stove was actually used. What do you remember about the stove, Ed?
Oh, I just remember this Aunt Ruth, she had us cut the wood real small, and we put it in the firebox.
Show us where the firebox is.
Firebox is down here.
Okay.
We put it in the firebox.
Yep.
And it heated this whole thing up, and it was blazing hot in here. We had to open up every window and door.
Really?
Yeah, and Aunt Ruth, she'd cook on this thing, but it was just, we couldn't stand it. We always had to stay outside when she cooked because it was just too hot.
Yeah.
But she'd make bread in here, and she'd cook our pots here.
So open up those top ones.
Yeah.
So those are...
She'd make bread here. That's what it's for.
There we go.
Yeah. She had to make bread up there.
And what about some of those other openings on the bottom?
Yeah, that's just the oven.
Okay. She would
made
cook in there?
She
okay.
made, pies. It's in the history that Aunt Della used this out here when this used to be a cement slab and they feed the cattlemen. Yeah, this out here, and they put it under a tent so she could cook pies and stuff for all the cattlemen. And so that was back in the late 1800s and all that. But me and my brother, that was 50-something years ago, that last time I ever knew this thing was fired up. But that was the last time. Me and my brother asked Aunt Ruth if we could make some toast. And so we made toast, and that was the last time I ever fired it up.
Well, this is definitely one of the most interesting and historic parts of the Hubble cabin, and we hope that it remains here for a very long time. Thanks, Ed.